It's the Andy Griffith Show, facts and trivia, with your host, Bob Snap.
Hi guys, welcome to the Andy Griffith Show, facts and trivia. Appreciate you being here. Today's video, Hal Smith, who of course played Otis, his life after the Andy Griffith Show, and how his career and health changed. Andy Griffith Show may have been named for its lead actor, but its success was built around its ensemble cast. Performers like Francis Bobbier, Don Knotts, Howard McNear, and Jim Nabors helped make Mayberry the most memorable town in television history. There wasn't much special about the locale itself. People made this neighborhood and the show special. So while Andy Griffith carried most of the narrative weight, the true stars of the show were his characters, friends, and family. Hal Smith, who played Otis Campbell, lightened any scene he was in. There was never an actor who as believably portrayed a town drunk. But what was life for Smith after the Andy Griffith Show? Well, for starters, he had to reassess his talent. While Smith was a great actor, he was mostly recognized as Otis, and so many people associated him with the soused, wide-eyed character. In fact, Smith had earlier played a similar role in the Ozzie and Harriet Show. However, by the 80s, organizations like Mothers Against Drunk Drivers had successfully shifted societal attitudes. Drunkards weren't really used as comedy relief the way they once were. Smith spoke about it in a 1989 interview with the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. They don't use many drunks on television anymore. I think it isn't very appropriate anymore. While folks' outlooks had changed, they didn't necessarily mean that Smith regretted his role. I'm an actor. When you're an actor, you act, regardless of the part. By 1989, Smith was 72 years old and found a new career in voice acting. He originated the role of Owl in Winnie the Pooh, and eventually took over the Pooh role when the character's first voice, Sterling Holloway, fell ill. He also briefly the voice of Goofy. Outside of his work with Disney Studios, Smith lent his voice to many commercials. He was heard in on-screen promos for United Van Lines, Hickory Farms, Ivory Soap, Toyota, General Mills, and many other products. As his career changed, so did Hal Smith's physique. When I did the Andy Griffith Show, I weighed 240 pounds, he told the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. I lost most of it, and now I'm 161 and keeping it off. I couldn't scale the rock hill where I would go fishing, so I decided I had better lose the weight. I'm glad I did. Smith had some memorable guest roles in Little House on the Prairie, Highway to Heaven, and George Barnes' movie 18 Again. He and his wife Louise enjoyed peaceful times together at their secondary home in Prescott, Arizona. Smith was an avid animal lover and formerly owned several racehorses. Even after he had given up ownership, he and his wife spent plenty of time at the racetrack. Hal Smith's son Terry was a TV and film makeup specialist and provided prosthetics for projects like V and The Last Starfighter. Hal Smith would go on to play the most famous role twice more. In 1986, Otis appeared in Return to Mayberry. He had long given up the bottle, claiming to be sober for years in this new life. Otis was the Mayberry ice cream truck driver. Smith also reprised a role in Alan Jackson's country music video, Don't Rock the Jukebox. Sadly, Smith's wife passed away in 1992. In the months that followed, his own health began rapidly deteriorating. Hal Smith died on January 28th of 1994 at the age of 77 after an apparent heart attack. His longtime agent reported that Smith died in his home in Santa Monica while tuning into a nightly radio drama program. I'm sorry, my words are jumping. I got a really bad cold or whatever this is. It's just driving me crazy. It's getting worse instead of better. I loved Hal Smith. I thought one of the best. Foster Brooks will always be the greatest drunk, on TV or whatever. But Otis was a close second. And I'll tell you who was a close third was Don Knotts, Barney Fife. That was really good on Barney and the Governor. I want to ask that you please check out classic rural comedies, facts, and trivia. It's on Burt Mustin. Recognize that name? The Andy Griffith Show character actor began his career in his 60s. Not just his 60s, but his late 60s. Classic TV, facts, and trivia. Bob Denver was incredibly brave when this lion got loose on Gilligan's Island. And it's a crazy story. And he really was brave. Classic rock country music, facts, and trivia. The Judd sisters. They open up on the family's offstage trauma with a new documentary. It's called The Truth Be Told. and they had some stuff happening back behind the scenes. I had no idea. And Faith of Entertainment, Tim Conway. His walk with Jesus got serious after a scary football injury. Yes, Tim Conway, football. And it's a really good one, too. I was really happy to hear it. I want to ask you a favor, guys. My mother-in-law got some bad news health-wise. And, I mean, I've got complete confidence God's going to tend to this. But I think He'll tend to it maybe a little bit quicker if you guys will pray for her for me. And if you can, keep her in your daily prayers. I would really appreciate that. That would mean a lot to me. And it mean a lot to my wife as well and my son. Please subscribe. If you have not yet, please like this video. I appreciate it. You have a great day. God bless you. And I'm praying for you.